Hey, ya lovelies! If you're a romance author who wants a website that actually makes sense, you're in the right place. Today we're finally talking about platforms. And I say finally because if you've been watching this series, you might have noticed I've been deliberately not talking about them. Not because they don't matter, but because there's a specific order to this, and this is where the platform conversation actually belongs. Here's what I mean by that. Most authors hit platform panic before they figured out what they need their site to do. They start Googling best website builder for authors, fall down a comparison rabbit hole, and come out 3 hours later more confused than when they started, and no closer to actually building anything. That's not a research problem, that's a sequencing problem. Now that you know what your website is for, when to build it, and what pages it needs, the platform question becomes a lot simpler. Not because there's one perfect answer, but because you can finally choose based on your situation instead of someone else's opinion. That's what we're doing today. Before we get into how to choose, I want to address the thing that makes this decision feel so much bigger than it should for so many authors. There's this sense that choosing a platform is permanent, that if you pick the wrong one, you're locked in forever, that you'll have to rebuild from scratch, and that you'll waste months of work. And I understand why it feels that way, but it's not true. Your platform is a container. It holds your website, and like any container, you can transfer the contents if you outgrow it or if your needs change. Think about your website like your home. Yes, some people do live in the same house their whole lives, but many people move from one home to another, and some people do many times. There's nothing wrong with any of these scenarios, they just are. And while moving can be a pain to manage, there are times it's definitely worth the effort. In the same way, authors sometimes switch platforms too, not because they've failed, but because their needs shift and they realize they need something different. That's a good problem to have. So let yourself off the hook on the forever part. You're not choosing a forever home. You're choosing where your website lives right now, in this season of your career. That's a much more manageable decision. Here are 3 questions that will do more work than any comparison chart. Question 1. What's your primary goal right now? Readers finding your books or readers staying in your world? If your main goal is giving readers somewhere to buy your books and join your list, you need something clean, functional, and fast. The simplicity of the platform doesn't matter as much as how well it supports those 2 jobs. If your goal is building a more immersive experience, a world readers can explore, bonus content, community features, you may want more flexibility and control over how things look and behave. Most authors starting out are firmly in the first camp. Question 2. How much time do you realistically have for setup and ongoing maintenance? Some platforms give you a lot of control, but that control comes with decisions. More decisions means more time means less writing. Others are built around the idea that you don't want to think about it. You pick a template, you fill in your content, you publish. It looks good without a lot of fussing. Neither approach is better, but one of them will fit better with where you're at right now. Question 3. Are you in a building season or a writing season? This one matters more than people realize. If you're deep in writing or just about to start, this is not the time to choose a platform that requires you to learn a new system from scratch. You'll resent it. It'll sit half-finished for months, and then you'll feel guilty about it every time you open your laptop. If you're genuinely between projects and you have the headspace to learn something, you have more options. Be honest with yourself here. The best platform is the one you'll actually finish. So what do those answers actually tell you? Think of platforms as sitting on a spectrum, and the clearest way I've found to describe the ends of that spectrum is this. Some platforms are like renting a beautiful apartment, and others are like owning a house. Sites like Squarespace are the apartments. They're polished, well-maintained, and almost everything is handled for you. You don't own the building, you're paying to live there, but the trade-off is that you never have to think about maintenance, security updates, or what's happening under the hood. It looks great, it works reliably, and you can focus on your writing instead of your website. The consideration is that if Squarespace ever changes their pricing or their terms, you're working within their rules. Wix sits on a similar space, a different apartment in the same neighborhood, so to speak. WordPress is more like owning the house. You own your files, your data, and your content. If you want to move to a different hosting provider, you can take everything with you. That ownership is genuinely valuable for a lot of authors, and it's actually the most common platform choice in the romance author space, partly because there are more affordable hosting options available. The complexity in WordPress doesn't come from needing to write code. It uses a drag-and-drop block editor now, so building a good-looking site is more accessible than it used to be. The complexity comes from choice. You have to choose a theme, a hosting provider, and navigate a library of thousands of plugins. That decision load is where some authors stall out. Neither one is the wrong answer, but they ask different things of you. The apartment asks for a monthly payment and your trust. The house asks for more upfront decision making and ongoing maintenance, either from you or from someone you hire. And then there's a third category worth knowing about: single-page sites. Platforms like Carrd are designed to do one thing really well: give you a clean, simple web presence that points readers somewhere. If you're in the very early stages and your main goal is building your list and gaining visibility before your backlist exists, a single-page site can be a legitimate starting point. It's essentially a landing page with its own address: your name, a short bio, your genre, and a sign-up form. It's not a forever solution, but for some authors in an early season, it's exactly the right amount of site for right now. The honest answer is that there's no universally right platform. There's only the right platform for your current season, your goals, and how much decision-making energy you have available right now. Here's the part that doesn't get said enough. The platform isn't what makes your website work. Clarity is what makes your website work. An author who knows exactly what her site needs to do, what her goal is, what pages she needs, and what she's asking readers to do next, will build a functional, effective website on almost any platform. An author who's still fuzzy on those things will struggle on all of them. She'll get overwhelmed by the options, she'll second-guess her layout, and she'll redesign the homepage 4 times because nothing feels right. The platform isn't the problem, understanding is. And if you've been watching this series from the beginning, you already have that understanding, or you know the questions you need to answer to get it. What your website is for, what pages it needs, and what season you're in. Knowing the answer to these makes building your website so much easier, and it's actually most of the work, whether you're building it yourself or hiring someone else to do it. If you're still not quite sure which category you fall into, if you've answered those 3 questions and you're still sitting with a "but which one though?" that's not a platform problem, that's a clarity gap. And clarity is exactly what the first page is for. It's 60 minutes where we figure out what your website actually needs, including which kind of platform will serve you best right now. Links in the description below. So here's where we are. You know what a website is for, you know when to build one, you know what pages it needs, and now you know how to choose where it lives without the paralysis. There's one piece left, and it trips so many authors up: visuals. Not in a Trends in Canva tutorial way, in a what are your visuals actually doing for a reader way. That's the next video, and I think it might surprise you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, lovelies. I'm Erin from Kiss and Tales, and I'll see you in the next video.